Greetings and welcome, everyone. It's AYCG Moviecast, episode 358. I'm one of your hosts, Jim Gass, joined by Mike Sneedy.
What's up?
Corey Feinsod.
Hey, guys.
And Tony Korkanakis.
Ahoy.
What's up, guys? Welcome, listeners and viewers, to episode 358. We have a couple things to talk about here with in regards to Star Wars, and then a couple things to talk about, obviously, the Game of Thrones episode we're going to touch on. But first and foremost, let's get into the box office that had The Hitman's Bodyguard overperforming at almost 21.4 million, actually overperforming its predictions. Ryan Reynolds, Deadpool revival draw, is that what it is?
I don't think.
It's just a good combination.
Oh, yeah, it could be. I mean, it could be the combination.
For a weekend, though, it's pretty bad, so I don't know. It seems...
Yeah,
to me,
like,
I don't know, 20 million?
Yeah, I wouldn't get too excited about 20 million, but I guess that just means the projections were that it was going to be really bad.
Yeah.
But Ryan Reynolds, Sam Jackson, that's a fun combination, so I think that's why I get that much.
Seems like a
from
interesting, fun, mindless movie.
Yeah, I mean, I will check it out, but not in the theaters. That'll be like a Redbox kind of thing. I think, actually, Corey, I heard Alien Covenant, I heard was pretty good from an Alien fan.
What?
Yeah.
I heard it was pretty bad from an Alien fan.
Who
So.
said that?
My friend Ryan, I will call him out on this podcast. Ryan.
Snap.
He, not the Ryan you guys know. Not a Ryan you know. A Ryan from up here that I used to work with. A big Alien and Predator fan. Big guy. I mean, he loves that stuff. He said, third best Alien movie. I mean, that's not saying much.
I mean, it's still not saying much.
But he did say he enjoyed it. If you're an Alien fan, there's no reason that you should hate this movie. It's just not as good as the first two. That's what he said.
Well, of course. Nothing's after that has been as good.
Yeah. Anyways, Annabelle Creation at number 2, Logan Lucky, Dunkirk, and The Nut Job 2, The Nutty by Nature is number 5. That's your box office charts. But yeah, I mean, it's I don't know. He said it was good, so I'm gonna check it out. If I can find it in a Redbox.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be red boxed for sure, but
I would not recommend it.
I'm not a big fan of this Oktoberfest, by the way.
Oh, snap.
it's not October yet, man.
Yeah, I think it's too
Yeah,
early.
too soon.
It's a little bit undercarbonated, actually. Sorry, this is not a craft beer podcast, but
It is now.
what was funny is when we cracked our beverages, Corey, I was ready for the seltzer taste, and I forgot that I grabbed the beer, so I went the first sip. I was like, "Oh, that's bitter." But all right. Anyways, let's get into the movie news here. Move on to the games
Hold on.
cast.
You missed the news about Wonder Woman.
What
Cracked
was- $400
400 million domestic, overtaking Spider-Man.
It's now also like highest grossing solo movie.
Solo superhero
origin.
debut.
Origin movie.
On
Yeah.
a Thursday when the wind blows one direction.
Yeah. Wait.
It's a lot of
Listen,
qualifiers.
with the-
That's my point.
Sorry, guys.
That's all right.
Fell over.
Listen, with the amount of shit that we all give DC, Mike, why are you like downplaying this
Because you
success?
read like 7 qualifiers, you're like, okay, all right.
It's like those
I see.
stats
It's
in
one
football
qualifier,
where-
technically. It's just the highest grossing origin movie for a superhero. So.
Yeah.
Domestically. Yes.
No, worldwide too.
World War II now? Okay.
Yeah,
It's good. I mean, it's not the first movie we saw her in, but I guess it's a debut.
Yeah.
It's not a debut, it's an origin story.
Oh, good God. Okay. See what I mean? The qualifiers.
It's like one of those sports stats. Like on a Thursday evening at 8:00, this quarterback throws better
That's what
in
Mike-
this stadium.
That's what Mike's getting at.
Games at
Of
home.
course.
I know.
I mean, we
Betting
can all do
against
that.
lefties.
So
Yeah.
I just think
But-
that's
No,
how it
I
works.
mean, it's still, the movie did exceeded expectations. You can certainly say that for sure by now.
Oh yeah. All right. Casey Affleck. Okay, we're gonna bring this one up first because I brought this one up last week
Jesus
on the Slack
Christ.
chat. Okay, so every time there's been no counter article, and it's been a
Other
week.
than
almost.
himself.
Well,
He backtracked right away.
that was
He's
clearly
like, oh,
like
I'm just kidding. I mean, obviously, it's like he did it all in one article. They just focused on the fact that he said it first.
yeah. So he started off by saying that he didn't think his brother would be. He doesn't think his brother is returning back to the Batman role. I can quote it exactly here. Let me just get this whole. I thought he was an okay Batman. No, I thought he was great. He was great. He's a hero, so he had something to do, something to channel and work with there. But he's not going to do that movie, I don't think. Sorry to say. Is that breaking news? Because I was just kind of making that up. I don't know.
And then later on, he says, "I was just kidding about that stuff."
It does sound like trolling from the beginning. And also, isn't Casey Affleck like a bad guy? Like, isn't there something going on? Like,
He's not a good dude. No, he's not a good
Isn't
dude.
he just like he's like kind of a prankster though? He really is.
No, I think it's worse than that. But I guess I
No, I
don't want
mean-
to get into that.
Yeah, he's not a good person.
Okay. Then I'm sorry we brought him up on this podcast. All You Can Geek does not endorse Casey Affleck, and for the record, one person on All You Can Geek does not endorse Ben Affleck either. But at least one. So, anyways, yeah. So there was that article about that, which I thought was funny. That we've talked
It
about.
just it was so clickbaity. I know we talk about it in Slack. I know. I don't know.
thought
It
it
just seems like silly
it's
stuff.
a theory that Tony,
Really, you're gonna
Tony,
just pull quotes from like people that just to get people to read the articles. They just
But it's a going
like
theory.
glamming it up
it's
now.
a glowing rumor right now. It's like it's been
I know,
flying
and that's
around.
what I'm saying. It's like everybody wants to like report on something. Anybody says anything, someone's gonna report on it.
That's what news is. I mean,
Yes,
I don't understand this.
That's
oh,
not-
man, somebody
it's
said
not
something. Don't
news,
report
it's-
it.
That's kind
Don't
of
report
Isn't
that.
that kind of what we do? Isn't that what?
No, I
Don't
understand.
report it.
Obviously, I
I do,
understand
but
you
when
guys are
there's
joking
so
and
much
haha, but
of
it's
everything
just
going
like
back and forth, it's just like, all right, well,
There
wait until we
is-
get confirmation.
Yeah.
at some point, like it just gets old. Like it's all the same stuff, and that's what I'm saying. Like all this DC stuff in general, it's like everything that's coming out of it. It's like back and forth, back and forth. So it's just until it comes out, it's hard to like really feel like anything's concrete or really happening or not happening. It's like
If you
all
take
right.
everything at face value, but I mean, you have some
No, just
websites
based
down
on. I'm
for
sorry, I'm just
Zillow.
saying based on what we've seen so far. Obviously, there are other things like when Marvel stuff says something that we can pretty much guarantee that's happening. When it comes to DC, it's just from what we've seen, everything that we've seen so far is just like, okay, well, who really knows what's going on right now? So to me, it's just a lot of noise, and it's like I don't care for that. That's all.
Okay.
So you just think this is just made up bullshit?
No, I don't know either way.
I
but
would like
it's
to say that, I mean,
okay,
clearly
get one
it's-
article, yes, one article, no, one article, yes, one article. Okay, it's the same thing. It's the same story, told 10 different times. So it's like, okay, well, when you have something concrete, let me know.
All right. Well, let's
That's
let's
all. I mean,
let's
first 3 times, fine. That's
let's
fine.
move into
After like
this.
4 or 5 times, all right, forget it.
Let's move into this next
Give me
bit of.
something.
I am giving you something new. Let's move into this next bit of DCWB news, which kind of coincides with. I'm not going to say reboots, but characters that aren't going to be used anymore. The Joker has an origin story film being planned right now in the DC universe with WB, not Jared Leto playing. It's being with, let's see, Scott Silver co-script. Let's see, there's a producer of Martin Scorsese, I believe, is the producer.
They don't have him ironed out yet.
Yeah,
They're
but they
just
can't.
talking to him.
Yeah. It's going to be a part of an unannounced imprint of DC films that will look to tell one-off stories about beloved characters in the DC canon. Not Jared Leto. Somebody else playing. It's a 1980s Joker story.
Yeah, in
But
the
you don't-
80s.
You don't feel like this is going to, like, this isn't, like, kind of the...
Hedging their bets?
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be. Jared Leto was pretty bad.
I mean, in the DC universe, there are 3 Jokers, so
For now, until that
Well,
gets
now, I
serious.
mean, so it's like okay, whatever you want to. They're just pulling these random stories out, and it's like, okay, well, we can justify it because there are these things in the comics that are happening.
Yeah, I mean, Mike, what did you think of just tying this in? Well, I mean, Tony, what do you think of this real quick before I move on to the next bit of question?
They're a fucking dumpster fire. This is just desperation.
Yeah. Like, what do you think, Mike, about the Joker origin? Because I think I remember you saying you'd rather be a mystery the whole time. You don't need to know who he is.
I don't even think it's going to be a real origin. I think it's just going to be
But they do now have a real
a
origin.
younger version of him, and it's just in the 80s, so they could do the fun 80s retro period piece that everyone seems to want to do now.
But
Also,
in the comics, they now do have an origin story for him. He has a name. He has he has the actual history now.
He's always had a history. It just
What?
depends on which one you read.
Well, yeah, but now he's got the
Which-
definitive. He's got the definitive name now. So it's
Well.
hey, it's great. I mean, I don't know if I want to reveal that if you're reading the Batman comics, but
I mean, I don't know, but I didn't get that far. But I don't know. I still don't like that idea that much.
he
So
does.
no, I don't
He does have a name.
particularly like a real origin story for Joker. No.
It's been revealed. There's that whole. You didn't hear about the whole Joker going being cured kind of thing.
Nope.
Okay, so in the comics,
I read comics like 5 years behind normally.
I don't know the story altogether. I mean, obviously, I haven't actually read the comics myself, but he has been cured in the comics, and Harley Quinn is like the villain now more for it, and he's actually, I don't know. That's what I'm getting from this. But because he got cured, they actually found out his actual real identity beforehand, and it was cool. They actually used a name that we're all familiar with, but not been ever used in the comic books before. So.
Okay.
For one of the Jokers. It's like another qualifying thing.
Yes, another one of those stats. All right. Let's move on to Stranger Things. That's the series, not what we're going to get into here. No,
sure we will.
Yeah, I'm sure it's Stranger. But Stranger Things Season 2 is coming at the end of October. We're going to have some good spoiler casts coming up for a lot of stuff. But we'll have a spoiler cast without a doubt. We're all looking forward to that. Quite excited for it. But Season 3 actually got renewed already, and it has not launched yet, Season 2. So that's awesome. I love
guess
that.
they're confident in it, which, I mean, they should.
They have every right to be, sure.
Mm-hmm. Netflix has greenlit that, and they actually have the writers of the show talking about how they have basically plans to just wrap it up on Season 4.
Which is fine, because the kids are going to be like 16 or something by then.
Like, I really like, and how many times have we talked about on this podcast about finales that just seem to not make sense, and series that just go on. Smallville being one. Like I mean, I'm just saying that like there are series that should have just been dead before, like end it, and they just drag it on. So I'm very happy that there's an end in sight for these people. They have an idea of what they want to do, and that's what we're going to get. I actually prefer that.
Yeah, and again, I really think the big driving factor is that, you know, you have this child cast that will grow up, and so you gotta sort of end it before, unless you really want to go into this whole teen adult thing, which I don't think anyone wants to.
Yeah.
So, because obviously this is like a huge show for them, and I'm sure if they could, they would extend it a little maybe, but now that they have a plan set in place and they know how old the kids will be around then, I think it should work out pretty well.
Yeah. All right, I like it. I mean, I don't think anybody's opposed to. I mean, obviously we love the series, but are we all good with a 4-season run?
Yeah,
I mean, as long as it makes sense, it's fine. And they have the potential to do spin-offs and everything, so it's not going to go anywhere, I don't think.
Yeah, they could do like, you know, different area or, you know, whatever, different group of people.
Yeah, a 90s version, you know, something like that with different kids.
Strangest things
of those kids
all right.
in the background.
Yeah. All right. Last bit of movie news we have is Star Wars. The Obi-Wan solo movie has been greenlit and it is in the works. Finally, we get a story. You know, I've heard like some flack about this. People don't want this, but
I don't want it.
Really, like I think this is the one character from the Star Wars universe that they really, I think that they could have as a great fun movie to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Like I really do.
I don't know about that. I don't want it.
Why?
I prefer this over the Boba Fett movie.
Boba Fett has a lot more stuff. He has like a minute of screen time so far,
exactly.
and he's like this big, huge character. Obi-Wan, you get a bit of screen.
Huge.
Yeah.
Well, people make a big deal out of him, considering he's on screen for like a minute. But you know, Obi-Wan has a fair amount of time, and there's also, you know, a little bit of mysteriousness that you get from him. Just like, what's he doing, like, on Tatooine all this time? Like, I guess you could explore that, but at the same time, it's like,
this doesn't sound exciting to me. Like, we know he was on Tatooine. We know he encounters a few people on Tatooine.
Ahsoka.
And he can do a scare away Tusken Raiders call. You learned that.
I don't know.
Why are we assuming it's going to be on Tatooine?
I'm not assuming that. I'm assuming it's kind
he's
of
going to end up there.
Yeah, I'm assuming it's those events.
Because why would they do a prequel of this without showing you exactly how he got to
okay,
work?
first, I'm going to tell you why we're assuming this.
Formula, where it brings you right up.
Keep an eye on Luke, and Luke is on Tatooine. So he's just going to leave Tatooine and not keep an eye on him, and then that's what makes this movie kind of stupid. Because then now it's like, well, okay, so he's just going to leave and not do his job. So exactly what I expect is going to happen.
Or it does take place in Tatooine and it's fine.
And then it'd be bad too. Like, I just don't see a good movie here, and I hope I'm wrong. I just don't see.
I think it's got a better opportunity than Han Solo.
Oh no, yeah, for sure, but still. Although
excited for that one either.
No, I'm
Han
not.
Solo could have been interesting, but I just the whole concept of recasting that character is just, it's too much.
Yeah. Yeah.
Casting who?
Recasting Han Solo.
Well, they obviously couldn't do, Harrison Ford as a young Han Solo in this movie, so.
Uh-huh.
I mean, there's so many stories out there that don't involve these characters that we already know.
And I'm a big supporter. I'm a big supporter of a new story. I think I've said that myself too. But I do like the fact that they're gonna do these anthology movies based on current characters. I'd rather it be Obi-Wan than Han Solo.
All right.
Maybe.
Who would you want to see it out of the existing characters then?
Existing? I mean, I understand what Corey's saying is not take an existing character and do something new.
Sure, absolutely.
Which I like. I like that.
I don't see that they're not doing one of those because of this.
Sure. That's true. Once the 3-episode, 7, 8, 9 is done, what are they doing?
Right.
Yep. I mean, they're going to have Star Wars movies for a while, so.
Yes, they are, because they are making money.
You'll get your new characters, Corey. Don't worry.
Yeah.
No, I'm not worried. I'm just saying. Like,
you sound worried.
How am I worried? I just don't want to see the Obi-Wan movie.
All right.
And everyone's assuming it's going to be McGregor, but he's not confirmed with it yet, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it would make sense. The actor's alive and kicking, and he's not old. So.
No, I know.
All right. Let's get into what we've been up to. Well, we can kick it off with the Game of Thrones. I'm sure that 3 of us have watched. Good penultimate episode. I gotta say that I felt my only gripe with this episode was it's an episode of convenience.
Yeah, this whole season feels like it's kind of a season of conveniences.
Yeah,
they could have added 2 episodes in this.
Not saying that I didn't. Yes, they could have. Not saying that I didn't enjoy the episode because I really did, but I thought it was an episode of just like over the top, like fast travel and convenience. That's the 2 things that sum up this season.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. I mean, whoa, sorry guys. It feels like they are rushing to the end now, which is
Absolutely.
Like you don't need to do that. Like everybody's gonna watch these shows no matter what. Like 2 more episodes. Just give us 2 more episodes. Just a little bit more of what's going on. Give us you don't need to drag it out, but it just feels rushed right now. And like you're saying, fast travel, and I don't mind fast travel in shows. Fine. I don't need to see somebody rowing for 4 seasons.
I know that, yes.
Shit like that. I just need to
Gendry.
Oh, sorry guys.
That's right. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, I feel like I agree with Corey where the TV magic is fine, but I feel like this has been a big season of it. That's the only thing I kind of pointed out.
Right.
You know?
No, yeah, and it's been a little more than they needed.
Yeah.
For sure.
So,
but as far as the episode goes, it was a good episode. I think I talked about it last week, which I didn't know you already knew this, but I was like, it's gonna be a nice dragon, maybe.
When he made the statement, possibly. I was like, when he made the statement, I'm like, I'm gonna keep my mouth shut. But yeah. Anyway, so I want to point out
that episode got leaked real early.
Yeah.
Like super early.
Knows. I want to point out the fact that if you're one of those readers that, like me, goes to Screen Rant, you may want to think about not, because a lot of this stuff for me, like shows and movies now, has been getting spoiled from them in their headlines and in their articles. Pictures, yeah. I mean, it's just been, it's bad. It's bad. So, although I think the one plot point that they spoiled already is going to get spoiled for all of you at some point for something coming up. So, I can't see you guys avoiding the news for that. So we'll see. But
in Game of Thrones,
I'm not going to say where. So you'll know it when you see it for something that we like. So, it's a spoiler that
kind of doesn't really.
No, I don't want it. I don't want to. It's something that we like. It doesn't narrow it down far enough.
Well, no. I'm saying there's very few things that are coming out very soon that we all like.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of probably 3 things. So.
Well, no, I think you're a little off on it. I think you're a little off. I think you're thinking I'm thinking of something we were just talking about with Star Wars, and I'm not. But
or something else that we were talking about earlier.
Maybe, but
well, anyway, back to the Game of Thrones episode in general. Let's just discuss it a little bit and be careful, because I did just spoil something.
Yes, you did.
And I know, like most people have seen it probably. That want to see it, have seen it by now. I mean, it's by the time this comes out, it's gonna be like 3 days after the show aired, and it's
like
been
a
over
week after it leaked.
It's leaked. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think the people that have seen it have re-seen it.
It's not. I mean, what Corey had. I mean, it's not a huge spoiler. Even the spoiler that for me, like that was not a huge spoiler. Like Tony said, for me, it wasn't like a breaking. Like, oh, what the fuck! I can't believe I knew this. Yeah. It's not a red wedding. That's what I was just saying. It's not a red wedding. So I was okay with that. I mean, I understand.
I was surprised it happened so soon, though. I didn't think it was going to happen.
Yeah.
So soon.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
everything's
getting rushed.
Okay. In any case, well, I had an issue with this episode in that why are they doing this? Like,
yeah.
Really, why are they not particularly what they're trying to do? I can understand what they're trying to do, but why are they doing it the way they are doing it?
Yeah, it's pretty, and that's the thing. A lot of these characters are just
dragons that can just swoop in,
and that's my whole thing. Daenerys, if she had just listened to Jon, and been like, "Yo, I'll go with you. We'll check it out. If we find something, I'll have one of the drags. You bring it back, and just in and out." Could have been done, but no, you risk all of your lives, like the whole North, like Bannerman.
And then like they meet a bear, right? And a red shirt dies.
Oh, the red shirts.
Why can't we just take the red shirt? You don't need to go find more.
The red shirts are just... Yeah, I know. He's going to turn. They know this. The red shirts in the episode were hilarious.
We gotta burn the bodies. Like, we know that if you don't burn the bodies, they'll turn. So why can't you just take that guy? I don't understand.
Yep. Yeah. Like, hey, man, it sucks you died, but thank you, because now we don't have to go all the way into this shit. It's like, let's just go back.
You. So this seemed, like you're saying, convenience. Like, we need these story plots to happen, so this is gonna... we're going to do these certain things so that this one scene can happen or this one plot point can happen instead of doing what's actually makes sense.
Yeah. Not to mention, I'm really disappointed with the things that are going on between Arya and Sansa.
Yeah.
That.
I think everybody is because it's just out of character for what they've learned already. Like I feel like all of this.
For Arya.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like Arya should be behind all of this shit. Like, everything she's experienced. I mean, it's like, what, you're holding a grudge over stuff that happened 5 years ago?
Yeah.
I mean, and all Sansa had to do was like, yeah, I was dumb and in love, thought I was in love, and yeah, I made a shitty mistake.
No, she just told the truth. She was forced to write that.
Yeah. She told the truth, so...
Oh, yeah, that's right. She was forced to write that. So...
And then, like, I would have died. Like, oh, come on. Seriously? Like, I just think that this Arya, like, her motives and stuff like are not clear right now, but she's just not acting normal and for her character at all. Like she's too smart for this bullshit.
She should be too smart for it, but she's being played by Littlefinger.
She should be playing Littlefinger like.
I know.
Oh my god, so stupid.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Maybe she is. Maybe she is. Maybe it's all yeah. Maybe she is.
I hope so. I really hope so, but
that's the only way I see it playing out. Like. I'm sorry. That's the only way I see it playing out, and I'm not upset about it because I just foresee a bunch of shit happening where she kills Sansa, and now the North is,
in turmoil again.
There's no way that
there's no time for that.
Starks are going to kill each other.
There's no time for that. Not with one season left and only 8 episodes left. There's no time for that.
I don't see it.
I don't know, man.
So
I don't know.
I don't know. Anyways, good episode though. Mike, quiet over there because I know you don't watch it. But what have you been up to?
First 3 episodes of Defenders.
That's what I was waiting for. I hope you had said. I hope you had led off with Defenders because now 3 of us have finished the show.
You guys have all finished it.
Can you finish the show by next week, Mike?
Possibly.
It's 8 episodes.
5 hours.
Love of God, please.
I should be able to. Yeah. I mean, things are kind of crazy, but yeah, I should be able to.
I mean, just 1 episode a night. You're good. You're golden.
I mean, the 3 I did like all today.
Yeah. You can binge them.
There you go.
You can binge them pretty well, but so we'll go up to episode 3, which was I think I remember. I mean, it's all pretty recent. So
the fight that ever was in all the like trailers and stuff.
Building fight.
You gotta have a hallway fight.
Building fight. Yep. This hallway fight wasn't as good, obviously, as the Daredevil stairwell fight. That was the best fight I think they've had on any of these shows. I would like to say in this season, though, I'm very happy with the fight choreography. It's much better. But I will say that fuck Danny Rand.
Well, my early impressions are he's a little bit better, but still just has some really dumb monologues.
And what the fuck? What? I mean, I called it. Johnny Storm. The Johnny Storm of the Defenders is Danny Rand, supposed to be the most disciplined person there. and he's the Johnny Storm of the group.
Well, I mean, he is like the youngest by like maybe 10 years.
He trained his entire life to be the Iron Fist.
His entire life was 10 years less than everyone else.
All I know is he did at least use his Iron Fist more in the first 3 episodes than he did, did the entire season of his show.
Yeah.
That's a stat. I think there's a stat there, actually, that has that.
No, I'm liking it so far. The first 2 episodes were a little bit slow, but they had to get everything together. There's a little bit of a mystery aspect to it. I hope they explain everything that's going on by the end of this, at least most of it.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that this just extrapolates out across all of Marvel. The same problem that plagues the movie universe plagues the Netflix universe for this show. I'm not saying it overall, but I think they have a villain problem.
Well, I see Sigourney Weaver. She seems like it could be interesting, but you don't know what she's really doing at this point or who she represents, or well, kind of who she represents, but like
you know who she represents.
I mean, she's
I know, but like she's like even higher than the person who she considered before as the head honcho of who she represents. So
I mean, I feel like for me, I feel like, and I don't want to spoil anything. Obviously, I feel like this whole show is an epilogue of each of the shows that we've watched. It's an epilogue for each of them, right?
Okay.
Yeah, that's okay. I was hoping I had. That was what I didn't want to write into Slack the other day when I gave like the thumbs up, and I'm like, I had an opinion of it right away because I got that vibe immediately from the show that it was just more. This was going to be an epilogue of the seasons that we just watched for these shows, which is good. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just that I just don't like Danny Rand. That's my gripe with this show.
I really don't think he was the worst part of this show.
I think there was more. Yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with.
This is gonna be interesting. Yeah, I'll probably get it done for you guys.
Okay, good.
But definitely, the 3 in. I'm upset that Misty came back. She's still annoying to me.
She is. She is.
I'm upset that War didn't make it. At least it doesn't seem like he's going to be in this at all because there was an opportunity to have him in it.
Ward? Yeah, Michi.
The best part of Iron Fist.
Yeah, he's
Ward.
Yep, they did have an opportunity and they did not get him.
But I hope they explain a little more about remember that kid way back in one of the Daredevils that
the hand
they were transporting?
They were smuggling him in. I thought they explained that in season 2.
Did they or did they not? Because it had to do with what happened with Elektra, I thought, but I don't know.
Sky?
Yeah.
I think I understand.
You kind of learn more about that, maybe.
So
I understand that more. I think I know where that kid was from, but.
Well, good, because I kind of because just now we're getting into the nitty gritty of what the Hand has actually been doing with all that crazy nonsense, voodoo type bullshit, and I'd like that explained from 2 or 3 series I've watched ago.
Yeah. So. Just a brief thoughts, Tony, Tony, go first. Brief thoughts of the show. No, we'll do a spoiler cast. We'll do a post-mortem of the show.
It's good. It's definitely good. One thing I would say is, in my opinion at least, I think this is the one series that actually could have used 10 episodes.
Yeah. Tell me about it. The one time, yeah. It kind of felt, yeah. We could have gotten more information, and they didn't do it.
It's funny because I'm 3 episodes in and I'm like, there's only 5 left. Yeah. That doesn't seem like enough.
Right, exactly. So that's the thing is, I would say, most of the shows so far have been on the other end of the pendulum where you're by 13, you're just all right, I'm ready for this to be over. 8 is too few. So I definitely think 10 would be the correct number.
Yeah.
To go with moving forward.
There was some filler in this too that I thought was not needed as well. So they could have probably fit it in 8 if they didn't waste time with certain events that happened.
Yeah.
There was an episode that I was like, really?
Yeah. And what I really felt, I don't know, I guess a bit more, content with would have been an episode from the villain's perspective. Because a lot of it
more
goes
of that story
currently, right? Yeah. But I just feel like with the characters they introduce and bring back, there was something missing that made me completely buy into the whole Hand hierarchy and whatnot. So I would have really liked to have seen that explored. In particular, one character. And again, I'm not being a spoiler. They make this person out to be some whatever, and the whole season I'm waiting for something to live up to that expectation that they themselves set in the show, and I just felt we never got that, and so I was kind of disappointed in that. But the characters, for the most part, are all pretty good. I mean, yeah, I think Danny Rand still sucks. He's better than he was in Iron Fist, but some of the chemistry that they have between the characters is really good. Luke Cage and Iron Fist.
I thought his chemistry with Luke Cage and Iron Fist was a good chemistry.
So that's where I'm like, I don't understand how you can say Danny Rand's the worst part of the show, because there's some stuff in this that's so bad.
What do you think is worse?
I think the hand is worse. I think everything that has to do with the hand is terrible.
Okay, I mean, I could see that. I was just talking about, the first.
Well, of the four main heroes, he's the worst one of them, but like he's not the worst part of the show. The worst part, so for me, this show, I know
where you're going.
Yeah. Well, it's the same thing you were talking about, and it's like I think. But anyway, I love the team up, and I really, really like seeing Luke Cage and Iron Fist together, because I mean that's just like awesome, fan service right there, and like the bickering between them and the back and forth was fun. Like I thought it was fine. They played well off each other. Jessica Jones and Matt Murdock meeting was good. The way that they come together was natural. I thought everything fit well.
Yeah.
But the fact that the hand is involved and the way that they've been built up in Daredevil, and the way that they were used here, is just such a letdown. And it was so, like you were saying, like there was a character that they made out to, like it was a Colleen. Like we're gonna see something like that? No, no. This is it's like you're saying too, Jim. It's like just a villain problem, and I wanted to see the hand be so much more of a menace or a threat than it was.
And that's what I'm saying. They really needed an episode just dedicated to why the hand is bad news.
Right.
I mean, obviously, we know a little bit.
They did a better job of it in Daredevil.
I think Daredevil established them. That's what I was going to say. Like, I feel like the shows, because this is like an epilogue of these shows, I feel like the established hand threat level is fine already, and I think that's what they were thinking as well.
It's just like they negated them to like just thugs, and I was like, this is stupid.
And I can agree with that, because one of the things that didn't set well with me was how...
Let's not keep it...
I know, I'm not going to say that, but...
We have a spoiler cast we can do for this.
It just felt like we went from, like, secret, mystical ninja...
Well, there's reasoning behind that,
organization. No, I know, but, it's still... I would have liked to have seen more of that.
But we don't know why.
It's
we don't
like
know why
the mystery...
Well, yeah, but there was a mystery behind the hand, like where they're behind the scenes in the shadows. There's a reason why they came out of the shadows. That was stated.
I know.
Mike's already seen that reason. Mike's
well,
watched that.
I just know that someone said that. I don't know exactly what that means yet, but
that's what I'm saying. Like,
someone said that so far.
They are less in the shadows. You just, I don't know.
Really, you want to do that now?
Yeah, that's what I mean. That was already stated. So I don't know. Like that was stated, and it just. I
understand that they stated it and they like tried to quantify, or not quantify, but give you some rationale to what's happening now, but it didn't matter.
All I know is
if
Mike wasn't on here, I have serious questions for this, which I can't wait for Mike to watch this, because there is like serious issues I have with one member of the hand that I really need to discuss.
With one?
Yeah.
Like every single one of them I have issues with.
I'll say this.
I felt was shit.
Through the 3 episodes that I've seen, and there's obviously one physical manifestation of the hand that shows up.
Yeah.
Who may or may be related to a previous episode or previous series. I don't see why or how or what the big deal is with this character yet. Like, aside from the method of the character's return, I don't know why this was like the end all be all for them. It doesn't seem to make sense to me yet. Maybe it will.
You'll learn why and all that stuff, but I don't know. So it depends on how. I mean, you'll see. It does all come into light, but
okay.
I mean, it was good. It really did just feel.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say it felt like it was Daredevil 2.5, Jessica Jones 1.5, Luke Cage 1.5, Iron Fist 1.5. Which is, there's nothing wrong with that.
Did it make Iron Fist any better? Like the show.
No.
For anybody.
No. Not the show. No.
Okay.
It does nothing for Iron Fist.
I
think that.
Okay. Go ahead.
I do think this is, if you want to, at least I don't know for sure. Just going forward, it does seem to be like more his fight than anyone else's, kind of.
No, I think he is a big part of the show.
It's like his thing was pretty much fighting the Hand.
I want to say so many things right now.
Yeah. For me, this was a cool thing that they did. I loved the fact they got them together. That was cool. And like I said, it felt natural, and I really liked it. I just hated the villains so much.
Okay.
I think also for me, I'm right in the middle of, I think, maybe a high point, too. Because after the third episode, I'm like, wow, that was good. Finally, let's get going here.
Yeah, there was a cool takeoff point for it. So, All right. Mike, what else? Anything else you've been watching?
That's all I watched.
All right, Corey?
I was going to say I was going to give it a 6 out of 10. For
all
me.
Right.
But
I'm a little higher. I'm a 7.
I would do between 6.5 and 7.
I'm a 7.
I don't know. As I got to set on a little while. The thing is, the choreography was awesome. There was one fight.
The teamwork was cool.
The teamwork was cool, but also there was one fight. There's some sequence that I just was like, I thought was awesome because we all knew that type of thing was coming, and it was just like, all right, well, that's cool. But yeah.
All right, we'll definitely discuss it more in our spoiler cast. I have not really watched much else. Just I needed to get that and make sure I watched it before.
Okay. Spoiler cast coming up for that. Tony, anything else that you've watched? I'm trying to think if I saw anything.
Not watched, but I read another chunk into My Hero Academia.
Oh, cool.
And that, Corey, are you reading the manga or no? You're just watching the show?
No, I just watched that.
Man.
I wanted to skip ahead, but I'm like, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. I did it with Attack on Titan, and it ruined it for me. So I was like, I'm not gonna do it with this.
I think you should. I really think you should.
Wow.
Knowing what I know now, I want you to experience it sooner rather than wait for the anime because the anime is not ongoing. They're doing it in 26 episode chunks, so you won't see the arc that I just did.
Man, I don't know how much they're gonna change and stuff. So I was like, all right, well, we'll see. I might have to do it because again, Attack on Titan was I couldn't wait for it. So I was like, I gotta skip ahead, and then I was like, kind of ruined the anime for me. I didn't really want to watch the anime after skipping ahead.
Yeah. I can see where you're going, but just because of this is definitely a bit more shonen centered. Yeah. Whereas I think was Attack on Titan was mostly shonen, but it takes a step to the weird supernatural horror or whatever. I will definitely go back and watch the anime to see the things that you read in the manga animated because it's just intense. It's just like Naruto or Dragon Ball or Bleach or whatever you want to call it. But I am continuously impressed with how well they really, even the manga author takes inspiration from Western superhero tropes and stuff like that, and applies it to Japanese storytelling and character design and storytelling and stuff like that, and just makes this really unique everything.
Apparently, this his first thing that he did was a prototype of My Hero Academia, and it was he was an older dude, he wasn't in school and stuff, and I guess and it was much darker, and then he wanted it to be a kind of a Naruto esque type show, so he switched all around and made it into a school thing, and that's how he got into Shogun and stuff. Apparently.
Yeah, well, I mean that's definitely going to be the widest audience to capture. I mean, if you go, I think is the hard part with the Japanese market too, because if you're not all encompassing, you go into a niche or a niche.
Yeah.
Whatever. But you have to go to the extreme where it's Berserk. Not many people can pull off a Berserk, and then make that for 20 plus years, 30 I think over at this point. But yeah, definitely awesome. Just every time I read an arc, I'm like, man, how are they going to one up that? And they just come out with new stuff. And I was like, oh, and just they're constantly changing things up. So
it's exciting to see. It's got some good stuff coming up.
Yeah. And it's crazy just because where I am in the manga is just it would be 2 years in of of the serialization, which is just crazy to think about. You're like, man, it's only 2 years. Like, this is probably going to go on for at least 5. So just
yeah,
crazy
cool
stuff. But yeah, that's it for me.
All right, and I think that's all for all of us. So that's going to wrap up. What are we on? What episode is this? 358. Yeah, it's going to wrap Moviecast 358. Thanks for tuning in, listeners and viewers. Write us podcast at allyoucangeek.net. Follow us on Twitter, allyoucangeek. Like us on Facebook. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. All the good stuff. Tune into the Gamescast coming up, and the spoiler casts coming up soon. We're going to have Game of Thrones Season 7, I'm sure, post-mortem of that, and a same thing with Defenders next week. So, thank you.